Have you ever wondered why some competitions and practices you performed like your old self, loose, relaxed, on time, performing really, really well? In other performances, it's sort of like that old movie, The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and you lose control of your body and you're tight, you have no confidence, you don't do well. Well, one of the major reasons that athletes have inconsistent practices has to do with what you focus on, has to do with concentration. Now, concentration, as far as I'm concerned, is the heart of mental toughness. What you focus on before and during a performance or a practice is going to dramatically affect how confident you are. Your level of nervousness, whether you're loose and excited or really uptight, nervous, and therefore performing poorly. Concentration will affect how well you rebound from mistakes and bad breaks. I'm Dr. Goldberg. I'm a sports performance consultant and work with athletes across every sport at every level. And today I want to focus on the concentration differences between when you're at your best and when you're falling apart, when you choke. And it's really very simple in terms of understanding. You see, there are two places that you can put your focus both before and during a performance. And of course, both of those times are critical. One, you can have your focus on what I call your head, or your focus can be internal on thinking. And what do I mean by this? Before the performance, during the performance, you're overthinking. You could be overthinking technique, mechanics. You could be overthinking about how good the competition is. You could be overthinking about outcome, what you need to have happen, what you're afraid will happen. You could be overthinking about what others may think of you as a result of this. When you allow your focus to stay internal on your thoughts, you're going to get anxious, you're going to get nervous, you're going to physically tighten up, you're going to lose your confidence, and you're going to distract yourself from the flow of the action. See, in order to perform well, your concentration needs to be on what you're doing and on the subtle and instantaneous cues that are coming at you from the action. And if you're thinking, you're distracting yourself from that stuff. And as a result, you're going to perform way below your potential. So when an athlete chokes, when they fall apart, it's because their focus is much too internal. The other place you can put your focus is external on the action. Now, depending on your sport, that could be, say, like a sport like football, basketball, soccer, tennis, volleyball, etc. You could be focusing on what I call seeing, reading, and reacting. Seeing the ball, the lineup of the offense and the defense, your teammates, instinctively reading what's going on, and then reacting. Now, when you're focusing on the action, it involves no thinking, and basically you're in your hindbrain when you do that. Your muscle memory takes over. You see what's happening, you instinctively read it, you react. The other place you can put your focus, depending on your sport, in a sport like swimming or gymnastics, diving, is more on feel, on what you're doing. And they're both the same, whether you are focusing on seeing, reading, and reacting, or feeling what you're doing. Basically, you're concentrating on the movement. When you do that, you stay confident, you stay loose, have access to your skills, perform out of your mind. So what's incredibly important for you to develop an awareness of is, where is my focus before and during the performance? Am I focused on my thoughts, or am I focused on what I'm doing? And pre-performance, that could be your pre-performance rituals, stretching, etc. And during the performance, it's in the action. If you have an awareness of where your focus is, and for example, whether it's in your head, you're at least in a position to then know you need to switch your focus back to the action, to what you're doing. If you do not have that awareness of where your focus is, then you're going to be doomed to keep repeating the mistakes that you've been making mentally, and as a result, you'll continue to perform poorly. So it's absolutely critical that you as an athlete learn to distinguish between these two different places you can put your concentration. In your head on your thoughts, in the action on what you're doing. And if you're aware that you're thinking, then your job, at least on paper, sounds simple, but it takes practice, is to quickly and gently bring your focus back to the action. Because there's all kinds of things that get us to think before or during a performance. So thinking will come up, and your job is, the minute you notice you're thinking, you want to bring your focus back out to what you're doing. If thoughts pop up 30 seconds later, so what? Reset. And you may have to do that the entire performance. But I guarantee you, if you get in the habit of staying aware of where you put your focus and learning consistently to keep your concentration on the action, on the doing, on the feeling of what you're doing, you will find that your performance level goes way up and you're performing at a much more consistent level. Now, hope you found the video helpful, and if you did, I want you to subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon, we'll let you know when we have a new video coming out. Any questions you have, I always like feedback from people. I like suggestions for future videos. Thank you for listening. Stay safe, and we'll speak again soon.